Hey, it's Shanasi here and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the basics of HTML. I have built a website that uses exclusively HTML tools, and in the following lessons we're going to learn how to build the website that I made. But in this lesson we're going to focus on three main elements of that website. Number one, we're going to focus on the navigation bar. Number two, we're going to focus on the header. Number three, we're going to just do a little fun add-on, which is at the bottom of my website, which is where if you hover over a sentence, a message appears. So we're just going to start with those three simple elements. So to explain those three elements of the website, I'm going to go into further depth on the style tag and how it works and what CSS is exactly and how it works with HTML, so that the next time that we use CSS, you'll get it right away. On to the video. So here we have my website, and at the top we have Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, GitHub, all in the navigation bar. We have my name, and then a little demo video plays as soon as you open the web page. So when you scroll down, you can see that there are several blocks of information. So there's about me, then a photo, and about me, updates, mouse goes over the picture. Click here appears, which is used in an overlay. See, hover the cursor over the sentence. It says just keep swimming. If you notice that. So there are lots of cool features here. There is a little piece about me beneath there is a linear gradient here. I know right now it's mostly white, but at the top of the page, you can definitely, like when I first refreshed the page, it was pink, but at the bottom it's white, so there's that linear gradient at work there. See, at the top it's very pink, at the bottom it's white. So lots of every time you hover over it, the color changes. So there's a white background, but when you hover over it, it changes to pink. And when you click on one of the links, it takes you right to my channel. So there is a link. And so all of those links, see how they work. And see that demo video started over again, right? Every time you refresh the page, it starts over again. On the screen right now, we begin with the HTML tags. So you're going to need these in any HTML document. You just need to make it a habit. This is a fundamental for HTML. You need the HTML tags. We close the HTML tag by putting this slash after the angle bracket. You always need to close a tag unless it is a self-closing tag, like an image tag, which we will get into later. So now we get into the style tags. For you to customize your website and make it uniquely yours, you will need to insert these style tags. Don't forget to also add this closing tag. Now, all of our CSS will go in between these two style tags. CSS is what's going to make our website look good. So now we move on to the body tags. The body tags contain our HTML code. The code between these body tags will rely heavily upon the CSS for styling, but the code between the body tags is really like the meat of our code. So like if we wanted to write like really big paragraphs, we wouldn't put it in the style tags, we put it in the body tags, because that's where like the meat of our website is. So now we have the most bare bones skeleton of our webpage. We looked at our demo website. One of the first things we noticed is that there's a linear gradient background. How do we accomplish this linear gradient? Well, we need to style the body part of the code. So we will write body. We're going to set the height to 100%. So we make sure that the linear gradient goes all the way to the bottom. And then to get this linear gradient, we're going to type background. And we're going to set this to linear gradient. So linear gradient takes two parameters, and the first parameter is the starting out color, and the second parameter is the color that you want to end with. So for my demo page, I started out with a nice pink color. This is the pink that I had if you want to have that same color. But there are tons of resources for colors in HTML, so if you want a different sort of color, you can look it up. And then we also had white. There's just these numbers are essentially just telling HTML where the color is going to start and where it's going to end. So we know we're ending with white at the very bottom and we're starting with pink at the very top. The third and final styling essence we're going to add to our is going to make sure that the background does not repeat. You can definitely play around with this and see if you want your background to repeat, but personally, I just didn't really like the way it looked. I thought it looked a lot sleeker without the repeat. Now we're going to move on to the body part. So in between these body tags, we're going to put an H1 tag. H1 just means header or title. So in between these, I'm going to write my name. My name is Chinasa, so this is what my header one is going to say. And I'm going to make it italic because I thought that that looked really nice. So to make something italic, you just put these two up. To style this H1 tag, you guessed it, we're going to have to go back into the style tags. So type H1 and then these curly braces again. So in this header tag, we are going to specify two things: the orientation of the text and the font size. Text align, center. And we're going to set the font size to 60, but you can definitely make it bigger or smaller, however you want. I just thought for mine it looked better, a little bit bigger. Now that we've gotten that, let's go ahead and test this, see what it looks like. And here we go. We have a linear gradient, and we see that it goes from pink to white at the bottom, and we see my name Chinasa. That's what our website looks like right now. So now we're going to move on to our navigation bar. So a navigation bar is not as complicated as it looks. It's really just an unordered list with list items. Start this unordered list. To start this unordered list, we're going to go back to our body tag actually. And before we move on, we're going to go ahead and just style it in between the style tags and CSS. So our first thing that we want to do with this UL CSS tag is we're going to want to make sure that the position is relative. So we're going to set position to relative. The element is positioned relative to its normal position. So left 20 px adds 20 pixels to the element's left position. And there are tons of other position properties like static, absolute, fixed, sticky, initial, and inherit, and they all have different functions. So you can go ahead and play with this, but I almost guarantee you that for our demo page, relative is going to work for us the best. Second line that we're going to write is going to decide how this unordered list is actually going to look. On our demo page, if you notice, the unordered list is in a block at the top of the page. So to get this block, we must write display inline block. This just makes sure that the way that it looks is in a block. And so it doesn't just come out as like a normal list. We're going to set our list style type to none so that there are no bullet points or anything like that, because we want it to look really sleek and refined. I'm also going to set my margin to 0, and I need semicolons. Do not forget your semicolons in CSS. And I'm going to set my padding also to 0. You can go around and play with these numbers, but this just controls how much white space there is in the navigation bar. In the demo, you saw that my demo navigation bar was white, so I'm just going to set this to white, but feel free to set it to whatever color you want. We just got to make sure that when we style the text, style a list item, the abbreviation is LI. So now that we have that, we're going to go into our body tag, and we're just going to put an LI tag in here. For our list item, we're going to want to make sure that the items float left If they float right, it means that it's essentially like reading it from the other way. If my order that I coded it in was GitHub, Instagram, Twitter, this float left will make sure that it's still GitHub, Instagram, Twitter, like you're reading from left to right. But if you chose float right, then it would flip. So it would be Twitter, Instagram, GitHub instead. So I made sure that my LI, my list items, float left. It's LIA, which edits the individual list items. So the first element in our list items is going to be display block. So this display block makes the whole area clickable. These boxes, the entirety of them is clickable. So you can click the pink part and it will take you to the website. You can click the word, it'll take you to the website. Next element that we're going to code for is the text color. So I'm just going to set color to black. My color is black because I have a white background. Our next element that we're going to be coding for is entering the text in the boxes bar. You can go ahead and play around with this because you can text align left or right as well, but I just preferred text align center. So we're going to set our padding to 14 and 16. And go ahead around and play with these values. These are just the values that I liked for my website. This padding value just controls the amount of white area around your list items. The last item we're going to include is text decoration. I want to set it to none, because if you don't set it to none, I'm pretty sure it shows up with underlines, and I didn't think it looked good on my website, so I didn't put it. But if you want underlines, then go ahead and omit that line. Now we're going to style for our hovering. Okay, so LI hover is just a really simple element. We're just coding for the background color. So I'm setting the background color to light pink. Mouse over the navigation bar, you're not clicking anything, but it's changing colors. For instance, mine changed to light pink, which is why I set my color to light pink. Now, this is all of our CSS. Now we just need to get in our list items. So I'm just gonna put in, we're just gonna make a couple list items. They can all be the same, just so we get the concept. So we have these unordered list tags, right? We have these list item tags, and in the center of these list item tags, we're gonna add an href. So an href tag contains a link, and that is what enables our list items to go to another page when clicked on. Here, I will paste the links that I'm using. So I'm just gonna say Instagram.com. They're all gonna be links to Instagram, but we can make them say different things. So this one's gonna say Instagram, and this one's gonna say Twitter, and this one is gonna say GitHub. Good, guys. Okay, and now we're just gonna go into this one little thing that's actually was one of my favorite parts when I learned about it, which is the P title. So this tag is just gonna enable us to write a sentence and hover over it, and a secret message will appear. So in the P title, we're gonna write our secret message. My secret message was just keep swimming, which, if you've never watched Finding Nemo, just means never give up, which I think is a really good lesson for coding as well. Next that I wanted to include in between these P tags is hover over this sentence. Guys, look, there's one little mistake I made. This Instagram should go in between these A tags. Save. Ooh, and see? Okay, good job, guys. Should have a working website. If you guys have any questions at all about the code, or if something's not working, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I would love to answer your questions. I hope you guys enjoyed that video on HTML and CSS basics and those 3 elements that will help us build our website. Until next time, keep coding and see you later.